Good morning. It's Friday, the 20th of November, 2020. Diane Hands bringing you book for the day, Human Crossings, 9 stories about refugees. And on Monday, I started to read to you from the very first story in the book, which is Khaled's story, and he's a Syrian refugee. And yesterday, I've finished reading where Khaled and Dala were about to open the door to their room, having returned from the hospital. There we found that the landlady had scattered our possessions all over the place. Dala was furious, accusing her of stealing our valuables. The landlady laughed and sent for her son-in-law, who worked for Hezbollah. He started accusing us and took our papers and kicked us out. We were now on the street again. There was no way we could have Lamar with us now. It was a moonlit night, and it raised our spirits by looking up at the sky and thanking God that we were alive and well. Dala finally went to sleep with her head on my shoulder, and I stayed awake till sunrise. A new day was born. We set off. Dala was still weak. Losing her balance, she put on a mask to cover her mouth, fearing to pick up any diseases, rather than feeling tired. I felt guilty for getting her into this state. We were still without our daughter. In the Hadass area, we found the office of the Cartier Society. A soldier tried to push Dala away, saying we were liars. I was about to attack him, but Dala told me to be patient. After vainly searching for other charities, we went back to Russia area. We took in turns to sleep. Help at last! We have been about an organisation called Bashmi and Zitunesh. This means smile and olive. This charity is set up to help Syrian refugees in Lebanon, particularly in Beirut, and they work together with Médecins Sans Frontières. Their office was in Shatila, the part of Beirut with a large Palestinian camp. It was dangerous, but Dala was intent on going there. On the door was a notice saying, Protection Office. Dala told me to stay outside. in case I got angry. She knew that she would be able to control herself. I waited outside. After some time, she came out with a smile on her face. There was good news. She said, I felt a wave of relief. We went in together, saw the room like a nursery, decorated with children's drawings, with a small library and a desk. Behind the desk sat a woman called Nibel. She was a psychologist, though we didn't know that at the time. I'm here to help you, she said. Instead of doubting Dala, she treated us humanely. She gave us money for food, asked the manager to pay a month's rent for a flat until I found work. At the request of Nibal, the charity gave us bedding, kitchen utensils and furniture. The next day, I went to fetch Lamar. I was starting to feel optimistic. It seemed a good idea for Dala to have some sessions with Nibal so as to regain some energy and positive feelings. She told Nibal the details of everything that had happened to us. Nibal suggested that we put forward our story to a solicitor from the International Refugees Association project, IRAP. We did this, working at UNICEF. We were also introduced to a lady called Adria, who worked as a volunteer for the United Nations. She took us under her wing. She found me work at a restaurant and also at UNICEF. I worked at the UNICEF Centre from 9 till 5, at the restaurant from 5 till 10 in the evening. This was quite tiring, but I was glad to be working and earning money. Adria also sent Dala meals every day and clothes for Lamar. Dala had a university degree in Arabic and literature. Nibal found her a teaching role at a school. Meanwhile, Lamar went to the charity nursery. A month went by, and we had forgotten that we had sent a story to IRAP. So it was a surprise when we were contacted by them. They were going to register us as refugees so that we could be resettled. We were full of joy. Problems in Satira. But at this time, there were many problems for us. In the Shatila camp, the ground floor room we had was in an isolated area with no neighbours, and at night we would hear the frightening noises of shooting and the cries of people being tortured and begging for help. We went to look at another room owned by a Palestinian woman. The room needed repairing, and she demanded money. We handed over money, but once she had it, she threw us out, threatening to kill us. We knew that the law of the camp, anyone could be killed, and no one would ask any questions. Eventually, we found a room where we felt a little bit safer. It was in the same area, but on the second floor. We were attacked several times. One day, Dala was passing under a balcony, and a big stone was thrown at her, injuring her head. She was in a state of pain, and her hearing was affected. At the time, the doctor wrote a false report, claiming that we had been quarrelling. Another time, while I was at work, a teenager threw a firework at Dala. When I challenged him about it, he called all his friends and they attacked me with knives. My UNICEF friends defended me, and the episode only came to an end when I apologised to the boys. And now that's the end for today. And tomorrow I'm going to be reading you about how Khaled progressed at UNICEF, and you can find Human Crossings for sale on amazon.co.uk. You can find out more about this book on Facebook. About Khaled's story is also on Facebook, and Khaled has a channel as well on YouTube. So that's all about Human Crossings for today. However, I'd like to tell you that the prophet for our day, Russell M. Nelson, will be broadcasting to the world tonight at 11 p.m. Mountain Standard Time and at 6 p.m. British time. And his message will be a message of hope and healing. So if you'd like to watch this broadcast, you'll be able to find it on YouTube under the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. A message of hope and healing. Until tomorrow. Thank you. Goodbye.